अभी नहीं रे, मैं कुछ नहीं बोला, सुन तो सही। तब ये लोग नहीं बोला। और उत्तर मत बना अभी तो। वो ऐसे ही बातें नहीं है, क्यों? मेरे पक्के वो नहीं बना। अरे सुन तो सही, सबको बोलो। बोलो सुन तो सही।
अरे बोल उसको भाई। चोर लोग ये
कितना दिया तुमने?
तो 20 है उसको।
50 ही। 50 ही तो कितना देर से सामान करते हैं?
सॉरी सोने क्या बात होगा पैसा है लो लेकिन दिया नहीं ना
देख मैं चोरी करके लेके जाता हूँ मैंने आया मैं चिल्लर भी है ऐसे इंटरनेट और वीडियो को बंद कर देना पकड़ ही नहीं होता है तूने बंद किया
यार लेकिन चलना भाई
ये हो गया यार उसको कौन
पीछे क्लास बोला था व्हाट्सएप को
अरे तेरा इंटरनेट बराबर चलता है सुबह को फोन लगा ना दो क्लास है
नहीं भाई मैंने फोन लगाया था मैंने तो नाम आ गया
मैं तो फोन नहीं लगा
पिछले क्लास लगाया थे माथे तो सब पलटी खा गए
क्या पलटी खा गए तो कौन ये पलटी
हां वही तो
ए तू कल ज्यादा बोल मत चैप्टर पढ़ा तू ही बोला था उसको बोल
नहीं
क्या मैं फोन लगाने बोला था बोल
नया चैप्टर को
अरे सुन
तो तू लगा है बहुत किसका भाई पता है स्नैप तो सब मैसेज के साथ तो जिंदगी में ही हो जाए
चैट खोलना बस
पिछले बार बोला था ना भाई आप बोलो ना यार I told you, when you come well prepared for 2 lectures.
When have you ever had one lecture then? Assume Bhavya is not there. ऐसा तुम्हारा नसीब था
नहीं ना वो तो यार आज उठ लेता हूँ इंग्लिश तो करेगी ये तो
इंग्लिश पढ़ते समय
नहीं पहला लेक्चर ठीक है CBSE
हैप्पी है तो ऐसे करते पहले लेक्चर में विल डू ट्रीज ओके जब तुम हैप्पी हैप्पी हो एंड सेकंड लेक्चर में विल डू वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग लेसन नेकलेस
मैम हो गया नेकलेस का हमने स्किप किया था
वेरी गुड यहाँ पे भी करके बताओ व्हाट We'll not do this. Imagine just a very interesting lesson.
Imagine just two people embodying absolutely nothing and just so gratefully reading absolutely nothing. So this happened.
मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ
That's all.
मैं किसी
77
Where's the? I don't know.
Trees.
Yeah. Do we have? We do have the proposal, right? Do we?
The proposal is there. I'm sure you don't have. You don't have lesson 5. That is not there only, na? Animals. All that is not there only, no, in here. The 100 dresses. Yes, sermon at Banaras is there. For Anne Gregory is there.
Yes. Video content needs is not there. Okay.
The proposal is there. Of course, the proposal is there. Only lesson 5 is not there.
It's not in the book.
Book only, no? Yeah.
Which is Madam rides the buses.
Yes. Now the trees. Now this is a little. नहीं सब कुछ है तुम्हारा क्या है ही है तुम्हारा पुराना है तो उसमें वो लेसन नहीं है वो है ही नहीं so
It's too stretched.
I'll not tell you twice
अब नहीं होते तुम लोग अभी जस्ट खत्म हुए थे ना
Okay, now this is a little difficult poem to understand. The trees, page 99. Okay, in your book 77. The poet Adrian Rich, she was a feminist. She worked for the cause of women, and therefore most of her writing is reflects her ideology. Yes.
Supporting equality between men and women.
So feminist means supporting. No, that's not that. Feminism does not mean giving more importance. Feminism means fighting for the cause of women. So, or giving equality, basically, asking for equal rights between men and women. So, she was feminist. See, before asking for equal rights, you have to first liberate them. There are so many, when she started writing, she was born in 1929. So when she started writing at the age of 30, that is in 50s, where women were 1950, we are talking about 50 or 60, that time women did not have as much freedom as we have today. Like if you hear, they were not even employed in all the organizations. They did not have, they could not take education in certain courses. Even in medicine, there were limited courses that were allowed to them. Welcome back after many days.
Only two will remain.
Now this poem you'll understand better if you understand this is a metaphor. The trees here is a metaphor used for women. Okay. Now you'll wonder why trees. Why trees is used as a metaphor for women. Yes.
Ma'am, like trees, they give fruits, they give shade and all, but
Yes, that's right. See, women are more nurturing, like trees, and therefore
they don't also like ask for something in
in return. Okay, so that's not true. That they don't expect anything in return.
They don't get anything.
They don't get. They don't get anything in return. Okay, so she has used the term trees. Basically, because trees are more nurturing and trees are more kind, and they are when one tree nurtures many small, big, birds, insects, everything. Many, many benefits. Can't imagine the similar way, can't imagine a house without the women of the house. But that does not mean that the women would only like to be confined to the house. Now imagine if a tree is grown in the house. We're not talking about a plant. We're talking about a tree. If a tree is grown in a room, how stifling it will be. The tree cannot grow to its full potential, and tree cannot get sunlight, and more than that, it cannot grow to its full potential. It will be shrunk from every side. What does the poet say? The trees inside. So for many years, she says, for many years, these trees were kept inside the house. They were not allowed to go out. But now the time has come when these trees are moving out of the house. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. What is forest here? The world of mankind. The world was without trees. The forest is where the trees should be. The world is where women should be. World cannot be without women. Outside world. So there were centuries women were only confined to their homes. And therefore they were not allowed to grow to their complete potential. But today the times are changing. The trees inside are moving out into the forest. Forest here, understand, world of mankind. The forest that was empty all these days, where no bird could sit, no insect hide, no sun bury its feet in shadow. The forest that was empty all these nights will be full of trees by morning. So he's saying that imagine these trees which were kept in the house are today moving out. So they're going out in the world. And when women go out in the world, when the trees go out in the forest, there will be same nurturing because that is their innate quality. For so many days, no bird could sit. There were no branches where no bird could sit. No insect could hide. No sun could bury its feet. No, but when the shadow falls, it feels as if the sunlight is getting buried under the feet of the tree. The forest was empty of trees. There were no trees. The forest was empty. All these nights will be full of trees by morning. That means now the trees will move out and the forest will be full of trees. All night, the roots work to disengage themselves from the cracks in the veranda floor. What does that mean?
The roots are trying to remove themselves from the floors of the veranda.
The roots are deep rooted. Women, it was not easy for women to break those shackles, to change the mindset before moving out. The biggest mindset is they categorize women in this good and bad. This is the good behavior, this is the bad behavior. So the plus there are responsibilities. This is your responsibility. Taking care is only your responsibility. Taking care of children, taking care of house, taking care of cooking. These household chores are your responsibility. So her roots were deep rooted. So they were deep root. They were like, she was held to the house in the name of responsibilities, in the name of love, in the name of good womanly behavior. Now, these trees, all night means before moving out, they are trying to disengage themselves. All these roots are trying to pull themselves out from the house veranda, which is holding them tight. The leaves strain towards the glass. The leaves strain towards the glass, small twigs stiff with exertion, long cramped boughs shuffling under the roof, like newly discharged patients, half dazed, moving to the clinic floor doors. He says, every part of this tree is trying to break free and move out of that house. The leaves are trying to break open the windows, the glass, the strong branches, they're stifled. Imagine women who are forced to stay in the house. They know they have the capacity to study. They know they have the capacity to go out, make a life for themselves. They know they can make a career for themselves, but they were not allowed to do so. So you can understand that stifling, that suppressed feeling only when you imagine a tree which is grown here and trying to break open the glass and the walls to move out. So every part of this tree is trying to break open. Small twigs are stiff with exertion. They are struggling so much. They are tired. They're stiff with exertion. The strong branches, they are cramped under the roof. Their condition, she explains, is like half days patient. Patient, when he's admitted in the hospital, um, there are so many medications pumped in his body. He's a half days. But even then, he doesn't want to stay there forever. Though he's getting cured there, he always longs to go home. He always longs to go out. He always longs to go home. And the very minute they say you are free to go, though he cannot walk, he will be ready, and he will be, though he's half dazed, he'll rush to the clinic door because he's eager to move out of that place, though it has cured him. So though the house is a safe haven, though house is a loving place, that is not enough. They want to move out in the world. I sit inside, doors open to the veranda, writing long letters, in which I scarcely mention the departure of the forest from the house. Now, here the poet is thinking. She sits, she has seen this struggle, she is watching this struggle. She's writing these long letters, she's recording her own thoughts, but she scarcely mentioned the departure of forest from the house. But she doesn't write about how these women are going out. Because each story, the story of each tree is different. The story of each tree moving out is different. It's never the same. And therefore she says that I sit there, doors open to the veranda. Because why doors are open to the veranda? Probably she's observing, she's watching how these trees are trying to disengage themselves and trying to move out. She's probably watching the struggle of women, but she does not mention them in her letters. The night is fresh. The whole moon shines in the sky, still open. The smell of leaves and lichen still reaches like a voice into the rooms. Now she is creating a scene. She's saying the night is fresh. That night, the trees have decided to move out. So the night is fresh. in a night sky. She can see the whole moon shining. The sky is open. There is not a single tree outside. She's sitting in the house and her door to the veranda is open, so she can see what is happening outside. She can smell the smell of leaves. She can get the smell of leaves and lichen. Lichen is the moss, yeah, the wet smell of trees that still reaches her house. My head is full of whispers, which tomorrow will be silent. So many things are happening. Everybody is worried how they are going to move out, whether they will be successful in moving out, whether they'll be able to move all these trees. Will they be able to move out of the house? So there are so many whispers, and tomorrow these sounds will be quiet. Listen, the glass is breaking. The trees are stumbling forward into the night. Winds rush to meet them. The moon is broken like a mirror. Its pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest oak. And suddenly she says, listen, you can see, you can hear the glass is breaking. Maybe some window glass has broken because the trees are stumbling forward into the night. Why it is not walking? Why is it stumbling?
Because it has been floated for so long that
It has been, yes, it has not walked for so long. When you walk for the first time, it's not a confident walk. It's you stumble, you fall at times, you get up, you move ahead again. Stumbling forward into the night, winds rush to meet them. Suddenly she can see she can hear the rustling of the leaves, the moving of the branches. And this oak tree has moved out. This whole moon that was there in the sky, now it's blocked by this oak tree. And from the branches of the oak tree, it appears as if the moon has been broken into various pieces. Can you imagine how? I have to check if there is. How do you hope I find it. Yes. If you see this tree and the moon, it looks as if the moon has been cracked and broken into many pieces. So that is what she's seeing. Because the tree has moved out and has blocked the moon in the sky, it looks as if the moon has been broken. If there is a better picture, this is more.
I'll click on
This is the better one. Or here also, even this one, with the tree, it looks as if the moon is cracked. This one, which looks as if the moon has cracked into very different pieces. So the moon is broken like a mirror. In pieces flash now in the crown of the tallest tree. Kuch samjha? Nahi. That is on this thing. What is a tree? Here, it's a metaphor. Yes. 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 And what is the poet basically trying to say?
They were trying to give some freedom to the
Okay, so this is about
It's about women gaining freedom, like basically they themselves realizing that it's time to leave the houses, slowly uprooting the deep-rooted misogyny and moving forward and outside into the real world.
that's right. So here the trees realizing that they have lived in the house means women. The minute I say tree, you need to realize it is women. So the trees here have realized that for ages we have lived in the house, we are not reaching our potential, we are not able to enjoy our life, we are not able to do something worthwhile with our life, and therefore we need to go out in the forest. Forest is in the world and work, prove ourselves, live a more fulfilling life. Okay? And this is the time of 1950s when women were struggling. See, 1929, that means she has seen women did not even have right to vote then. In a this what the cradle of democracy that like Great Britain also did not give rights to women to vote till 30s 40s. So there women had to fight for these simple rights. Sorry, suffrage, right? And so for simple things they were denied. They were denied simple things that we take for granted today. So this poem is written in those times when women had to really break out, disengage themselves, and go out of the house. Uh, that's what this poem is. So, do you have your? This is it's in volume 1, 3. Volume 3. So here, why is she use the word night?
Because it's a dark time and women have not yet received their warning or like the horizon for freedom.
Night of their enslavement and morning of freedom.
The haunted caller, right?
Okay. So remember why night? Why is she talking about this night? In this night they are moving out because night represents their enslavement, night of enslavement, and morning, next morning, because it's a new morning, new dawn of freedom. So remember, when we talk about night, we are talking about the night when they were enslaved. Therefore, night.
I wonder why one part of the population had to fight the other part for basic rights.
Yes.
It's sort of an accident selection of like objectives and duties, like women just being household operations. It's a very fascinating question because you would never really believe that a population that started with no brain, no language would turn into oppressing other parts of the population.
That is how the world has progressed. You should read.
How did we turn into like
That is how they have survived, not progressed. That is how the world has survived by oppressing others. The dominant part has managed to survive.
their fragile little egos?
Okay, children, you'll understand the lesson better if you try to solve these page 44 and page 45. There are three comprehensions. So, you're having fever? It's only objectives you have to tick. What? Okay. Tell me. Let's ask the boy who's having fever first. Okay. Let's start with you. So, थोड़ा fever कम हो जाएगा. Where are the trees moving? Where are the trees moving? Okay.
Sorry.
No, you just answer. Just where are the trees moving? See, you were right actually. But when you are saying giving this answer, tell where are they and from where are they moving to where?
They're moving in sea.
Because
Because they're natural habitat.
हाँ.
तो ऑप्शन वही है ना.
अरे भाई रुको, मैंने वहां से आंसर नहीं पूछा, मैंने जनरल क्वेश्चन पूछा वेयर आर द ट्रीज मूविंग. तो आंसर इन वन सेंटेंस क्या बोलोगे? Yes, from the house to the outside forest, from house to the forest. Okay. Why were the forests empty? Why were the forests empty?
Because
Yeah.
because women like, at that time were not allowed to move out from house.
Yeah. So, but here we will use the word trees. Why were the forests empty?
Because trees were not
Allowed to move out of the house, and therefore
There was no.
there were no trees in the forest. Perfect. I'm just asking general questions to check whether you have understood the poem. What was the effect of the empty forest on birds, insects, and the sun? Yes,
I remember words from the poem.
you have to use the words from the poem.
Birds could not find any place, just like insects could not hide, and the shadows from
There
the
was
sun
no place for insects to hide, and
They could no.
sun could not bury its feet. Now, what are the roots doing at night? Yes, trying to. Okay. Or the word here is disengage, struggle to disengage themselves from the floor of veranda, or break it up. Okay. Why do the leaves strain towards the glass? Why do the leaves strain? Shh. Next question is coming to you. Strain towards the glass.
Like they were trying to get to escape
Break open the glass and move out of the house. What has happened to the trees? Yes, they have become hard with due to exertion of exertion of exertion of yeah. Shh. What exertion? Why are they exerted?
Because
Exerted
they were
means
constantly
tired.
trying to break through, and
Yes, they're
their
trying to
twins
break
are now stiff with
exertion. Okay. So they are exerted because they were constantly trying to break open the walls of the house and move out. Okay. What is the poetess doing? Yeah. What is the poetess doing?
Poetess is watching them at night from her veranda. She's writing letters.
Yes.
While she watches them.
Long letter. Poetess is writing, sitting in the veranda, sitting in her house with the door open and writing long letters.
She was writing poem, that's why we are reading poems.
Hello. Describe the night. Clear. Night was fresh with full moon and the sky was open and clear. Okay. Does she mention the departure of the trees in the forest?
No, in her letter she does not.
She does not mention.
Oh, and then it's just scarcely. So that means some mention was made.
Sorry?
It's just scarcely. Usually nothing.
No. Scarcely mentioned means no. Does not mean. Okay, Vedant, what is echoing in her mind? What is echoing in her mind? What is echoing in her mind? Whispers of the trees. Whispers of the trees. What is echoing? Okay. Where are now Vedant? Where are the trees stumbling forward?
They are moving towards the forest, ma'am.
Towards the forest.
Okay. 1 minute. 1 minute. Now Vedant. Okay. So you understood nothing.
No, starting part.
Okay. This is a little different poem, but you need to understand. You can't escape this poem.
The laugh was menacing.
No. Very good. You're brilliant. Let me explain it to you. Understand trees as women. Okay. There were these trees all these years in the house. Now, where are they moving? Towards the forest. What is forest? The world of where all the people live. All these years, women did not have any place in the outside world. Okay. Now, because there were no trees in the forest, what was the reaction? What the birds could not do?
They can't build their house.
Okay, they could not sit on any branches. What could the insects not do? Hide. They did not have any tree to hide. Insects hide in the trees? What could the sun not do?
It could not bury its feet in shadows.
There could not be any shadow because the sun was only burning. It was harsh sunlight. The trees give us shadow and then shade. So the world, outside world, was very strong, rough and hot. There was no shade because there was no trees, and therefore the sun could not bury its feet in the shadow. Okay? यहाँ तक समझा? Now, all night. All night means, are the trees working on that particular night? No.
Every night.
Night, why night? Night here indicates the enslavement. The slave. They have made these women slave and kept them in the house. Kept them in the house. Okay? So, they are. What are these trees doing during the night? The roots are working. Here. What are the roots doing? Working for. Now they have to move out, but the roots are deep rooted in the floor. So they have to first pull themselves out. Only then they can walk out, right? The roots are trying to come out from the floor of the veranda. Okay. Not only the roots, the entire tree is struggling. What are the leaves doing?
They're trying to break the glass.
Break the glass. I'll give you 5 minutes. Let me finish this. What are the small twigs doing?
They're trying to break
The twigs. Hello, Vedana. What are the twigs doing?
They're-
Even they are trying to break the door or the wall,
And that has made them stiff.
and that has made them stiff because they're tired. The women's struggle was not an easy one. It was a tiring one. Many lost their lives, faced humiliation, faced torture. That is the story basically. Long, cramped, this long boughs, that is branches, they are cramped. And therefore they are also shuffling under the roof. Here she is comparing the struggle to what? To the patience. Half day's patient. Even though he cannot walk confidently, he wants to always go home. Okay? Where is the poet is sitting? In the third stanza. The poet is also sitting there. The poet is sitting in her own house. She has kept the door open and she is watching this struggle of the trees. Because she wants to watch the struggle of the trees. Trees means what again? Women. Yes. So she says that, what is she doing? She's sitting there and writing letters. What kind of night she describes? The night is,
The sky was
the sky was clear, the moon was shining, the night was fresh. She was sitting in the house and yet she could get the smell of the leaves and the lichen. Why? Because they were struggling, no? When you rub against the leaves, when you walk on the grass,
I just said that.
you get the scent of that. So even these trees, they are struggling to move out, and therefore the shuffling and the struggling is leaving the scent, that green scent of the lichen and the
I
leaves.
like how you describe it as green.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
strong green scent, no? So she says that her head is full of, what is her head is full of? Whispers of trees. She remembers the sound that the trees and the branches and the leaves made to break open the glass and the tall or the walls, strong walls. And she's asking you to listen. Listen to what? What can you hear? He said, listen. She said, listen. You will be able to hear the glass. Its trees are moving out. They have broken the glass. They're stumbling forward. They're not able to walk because they're walking for the first time. They're stumbling forward into the night, and then there's wind, and they are covering the moon. The sky is no longer clear. Why was the sky clear? The sky was clear because she was sitting, and there was no obstacle. There was no tree. There was nothing on the outside. But now the trees have moved out, and you can see the moon in a cracked shape. Why? Tall. Yes. Which tree? Oak tree has covered the part of the. That means women have moved out and they have made their uh, impression. They have made their place in the world. थोड़ा तो समझो. Take a break. See you after 5 minutes. Huh?
नहीं ना अब है ना सब बिना ब्रेक के पढ़ा था 15 करो जल्दी
Take a go wash your face.
You scared me. इसी में पटाखे चलाते हैं फिर जाते मैं रोते थे दौड़ी मैं छोरी मेरी लूटी मेरी पैसे Krishna
इसका एमबीबीएस का बुक गायब हो गया मतलब भूल गया है सबका है खुद भी उसका मिल गया तेरा तेरा